Welcome back, friends of the street and the boardroom. This is Vinny, and you're tuned in to the new Sentinel. Today we're cracking open a couple of epidemics nobody likes talking about. Whale, the invisible kind. The ones where the damage is everywhere, but you can't see a single broken window. We're starting global, STIs. Most folks figure that's a problem for somebody else, but it's everywhere. Most populated countries, India, China, the US, STIs are some of the most common communicable conditions around. What makes it interesting, real Machiavelli stuff, is most infections just hide. People walk around feeling fine, no clue they're carrying something that could take down a whole neighborhood. The streets remember what the clinics miss. As we said in that dating episode, when you got situationships and not relationships, everybody thinks they're safe. But it only takes one silent carrier to blow up the whole network. You're only as safe as your weakest link. It's like a botched syndicate alliance. I seen it. One guy, thinking he's slick, brings the heat to the whole operation, and suddenly we're all looking over our shoulder for stuff we didn't even do.
Omo, na real wahala. Vinny, you dey talk true. My people, listen very carefully. When it comes to these infections, the real enemy is not just risky behavior, but the network itself. You think say not just your own waka matter, but if your partner or your partner's partner, they roll through plenty lanes, you dey exposed. It's not even about sexual preference, meaning careless. No, it's about what networks make possible. And when you get low commitment, those casual flings, the let's just see how it goes approach, it's even easier for a silent infection to pass round. You see it in US, state by state. Some small town gets a little spike, and within months, it's all over. Nobody wants to be the weak link, but sometimes you don't even know you're holding the bag. Last time, we talked about modern dating, the blurred boundaries, those situationships, and how lack of communication just jacks up the risk for everybody. The science hasn't changed. The street rules haven't either. If the crew's not on the same page, somebody's getting hit.
See, what most people miss when they look at dating from just their own point of view, they're ignoring the whole system. Asymptomatic carriers? That's basically the sleeper agent of public health. You think you're running clean, a little protection here, safe move there, but the network is only as safe as the least careful person. And just like with a bad syndicate deal, if there's no loyalty, no information sharing, no transparency whale, you end up with chaos. Nobody's truly safe, everyone's at risk. And the state-by-state numbers back it up. Some places think they're untouchable, but one weak link drags the outbreak from Miami to Milwaukee faster than a suitcase on a bus. The thing people gotta understand, the methods might look different in the club versus the crew, but the math, it's the same.
That's why the smart folks track networks, not just individual cases. When you move careless, emotionally or physically, you expose more than yourself. The real lesson? Whether you talking voting blocks, street syndicates, or Tinder hookups, trust but verify. And if you can't trust, don't be surprised when the network burns you. Let's pivot. Trauma is another epidemic, just as invisible, but with scars you see in the mirror. Vinny, shall we break it down? Trauma. My people, they no put 'em for headline, but they shape life, inside and outside. I've seen it all, from the rains in Darfur to the traffic in Lagos. Most people think trauma is only nightmares or fear, but no lie. Sometimes it's flashbacks that feel like you're right back at the checkpoint, hearing the same gunfire, even sitting in your own kitchen. Sometimes you just withdraw. No be because you hate anybody, but you dey protect your own mind. You go avoid places, even loved ones. Anything way fit remind you of pain, shame, guilt, that sense of deep fear. Sometimes you no even realize it's the trauma biting. No joy in things you used to love, numbing yourself just so you can survive another day. Hypervigilance. Your mind they turn to radar, every sound not potential threat. You snap at the littlest thing, sleep go run from your eyes, or sometimes you just stay tired all the time. Body go show signs, no tension for muscle, headache, sweating for no reason, heart beating like you do marathon. For children, it fit be reenacting the bad thing while playing, or just regressing, bedwetting, night terror way no get head or tail. Trauma na equal opportunity villain. E no care for age or location.
Let me tell you, trauma don't discriminate. It goes after the wise guys and the altar boys the same. Whale, you put it right. Sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's quiet, but it's always lingering. In my line of work, you see the guys who can't sleep after a job. They're up at 3, counting regrets, not sheep. But in public, it's the trust that gets eaten. Trauma makes you suspicious. Suddenly, everyone's a threat. You can't sit with your face to the door. You start skipping meetings. Classrooms disrupt. Kids can't focus, acting out, or worse, checking out. Teachers see it every day, but the folks in charge, they'll say it's just bad apples. Same for veterans and first responders. The hypervigilance that kept you breathing in war zones is poison at home. They're irritable, avoidant, don't trust the system. And the cycle repeats. Survivors of violence step out of civic life, won't even show up to vote, because the system's just another setup in their mind. Think about what that does to a whole neighborhood when even the toughest guys start stepping back from the game.
True. I remember the first time I came back from a mission. Every knock, every shadow a threat. That same sharpness, that vigilance, kept me alive at midnight, but isolated me at noon when I just wanted to grab a cara by the roadside. Stay sharp, stay dangerous, I tell my people. But if you don't heal, you become too sharp for your own family. And sometimes, now the wound you don't talk about, that infects the whole block. Everybody they walk on eggshells, classes they scatter, trust collapse. Trauma na silent epidemic, just as viral as any STI. Maybe even more dangerous since most people no even get the words to describe them. The ripple no end with the person. It go enter their circles, sometimes their descendants. But if you recognize the signs quick, you fit start building support, bring the mind back home. If not, street or school, you go see people becoming invisible. Let's talk what it does to families, schools, and society at large.
All right, let's zoom out, because the hits keep coming. Trauma's not just a one-man wound, it's a debt the whole system pays. You see it in the numbers. Healthcare bills climbing, absentee kids, folks pulling stunts to get pills or numb out. That costs money, community, loyalty. Kids with trauma, half the time they're ghosts in school. Lost students. Nobody talks about it until test scores tank or a scandal breaks. And then there's the trust tax. The more scars you get, the less you trust. Your teachers, your boss, even the system itself. Used to be, if you caught a beating, you at least had your crew watching your back. Too many scars, you stop trusting anybody, even the ones holding your coat. That's how families start fraying. Moms and dads can't connect. Siblings go their own way. The crew splinters. I seen it. So many fractured crews. You can't even get a sit-down without 5 guys looking for an escape hatch. Whole communities start checking out. That's system stress, and brother, it's a killer. And I might be wrong, but last I checked, nobody has figured out a way to rehab a neighborhood once everybody's already skipped town emotionally.
Sentinel don't speak. This kind of stress does not just stop at home or in the head. It hits public health, the workplace, the streets. Substance abuse goes up, productivity comes down, and nobody wants to trust the old civil institutions. Veterans, they come back, try to rejoin civic life, but the world no fit match the rhythm of survival mode. Sometimes, them go just leave the system behind, because reintegration can feel like an ambush. For young people, trauma makes them drop out, lose hope, or drift to places where the system cannot reach. Na crime, na vices, na silence. The community suffers, trust disappears, and so too does any real sense of safety or progress. The real price? It's not just naira, dollars, or euros. Na hope, connection, the willingness to try. But my people, if we recognize this pattern, there's still a way back. Peer groups, counseling, trauma-informed schools guard the next generation like good soldiers protect base. System stress na battle, but battle fit gets strategy. Vinny, what's the last word from the street?
Strategy is survival, Whale. Nobody gets out clean, but you can decide how dirty you let the scars get. Support your people, check your networks. Loyalty, transparency. You can't fix every wound, but you sure as hell can stop the bleeding if you act early. Like we always say, power respects power, but real power is seeing the ghosts before they haunt your block. All right, that's a wrap for today's episode, folks. These hidden epidemics, STIs, trauma, the streets, the schools, none of us are untouched. But we got each other, and the new Sentinel ain't done yet. Whale, sign us out?
Sharp as ever, Vinny. My people, truth they hide in plain sight. Stay sharp, stay dangerous, stay kind, in that order. We'll see you next time here on the new Sentinel. No sleeping, the watch never ends. Vinny, salute.
Salute, Whale. Salute to the listeners. Until next time, remember the streets, remember what the courts forget. Stay wise.